What's cracking? What's cracking? Welcome to the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. I am Zay Collier, joined by the great Adam Wagner, and the Longhorns get their fourth dub of the season. The number one team in the nation, looked like the number one team in the nation, even though they might have been a little rusty at times, but they got the dub over Louisiana Monroe, 51-3. Looking rusty and winning 51-3. You gotta love it. Gonna have a good time tonight on the post-game show. Shout out to our terrific sponsors: AV Consultation, Clean Cause, Covert Bee Cave, 34 Wine and Spirits, All Stat Brewery, Hat Creek Burger, Kenfield Golf Carts, Paul's Motor Works, Moonshine, Patio Bar and Grill, Top Gun Law and Equipment, and Verde's Mexican Parrilla. Man, Wags.
It's all deadly. It's all deadly.
You know, the rival school up north struggling tonight, as we thought they would, against Tennessee Vols.
They're still down 10, right? 25-15 is what I last saw.
Yeah. Jackson Arnold got pulled in that game. And I say that because to see Quinn Ewers, who didn't play tonight, obviously, Arch Manning played tonight. We'll break that down. Arch looked all right. I'll give Arch a B grade as of now. But Quinn Ewers going into that fourth quarter, getting his team hype, being the center of it all.
Leader.
As a leader, showing that, this Arch stuff, this is fun for Dow. Longhorn fans, have your fun. But for us to be where we need to be, and that's potentially being a national champion, 3 is going to have to be taking those snaps. And look, it was a blowout. The defense showed their ass tonight. Say what you want about ULM. They play hard. They tried. But defense played their ass off. Offense, they're just too stacked to where even though Arch Manning might have struggled at times, they did what they wanted when they needed to. But my highlight of the game as of right now, Quinn Ewers, him getting this team hype and showing that he is the leader of that locker room and it is his squad. We already knew Wags, but just to see that photo, and shout out to Chris Bennett, he put that on Twitter. Go follow him. That's my guy. But, dude, that was a beatdown tonight. This team, Steve Sarkisian, the culture, it is there to where you're not going to play down to your competition like we've seen in past. And I think even though this schedule seems to get weaker and weaker as the weeks go by, you can only play who's in front of you. The Michigan win, that looks a lot better with them being SC.
It's revealing. The schedule is getting more revealing, not weaker and weaker. It's getting more revealing.
That's a nice way to say it. You are being very kind with your words. But yeah, Wags, the performance tonight, I mean, if you're a Longhorn fan, you got to be happy with it.
It's now 4 weeks in a row you put up a 50-burger, man. Efficient football. When we're talking 50 points, regardless of the opposition, that's efficient football. We were looking for little things to take away from this thing. Here's one thing, right? And it's not so much what I saw on the gridiron, it's what I saw on the sidelines, kind of the carry-on of what you were talking about with Quinn Ewers and just the leadership and the culture that Sarkisian set in. It was very reflective and reminiscent of what Saban had built with Alabama. Now, I'm not saying that the Longhorns have reached Saban's level of a dynastic run yet. I mean, hell, we haven't even stepped. We've gotten on the right foot, but we haven't even gotten to one championship yet. You know what I'm saying? But the things that I'm seeing, the small interactions, the small body language that I'm seeing on it's like being pissed off for missing just a small little route. Just what Sarkisian talks about week in and week out about holding Texas's standard, Longhorn standard football, and just holding everybody accountable to that. Hey, man, he had a really good embrace with like a transition with the 5-7 season. We get it. He expectations. He kept expectations tempered, and now he understands that he's got a championship caliber team. With that comes expectations, higher expectations. When you hold people accountable for the small things, bigger things just kind of naturally turn into place there.
For sure. Like, this culture has been set. They know they know how they need to play every game. Like there's so many different leaders in this locker room, and you see it on every play, offense and defense. Like this offensive line, they were moving guys tonight. That's what you got to do. I love Jaden Blue getting back into the mix. 25 carries, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 2 to make it 4 total. Like Jaden Blue, he has to get going. He needs that. I didn't know. He still doesn't look 100% to me. I don't know if that's just,
that's flow, maybe flow.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked good overall. He looked good. It was kind of methodical. He needed a game where he got 20-plus carries because he's never had that before. So I think it's beneficial to get him that so he knows he could do that and he doesn't have to go to the tent after a certain drive.
Correct. Exactly. We get to see the payload. Exactly.
Yeah. So Jared Gibson still like what he does. He got that touchdown in Baby Rhino. Clearly Quintravion Wisner is dealing with that, whatever injury that he had last week. They didn't play him much, which I'm fine with. You're playing against ULM. You don't need all of your guys for that dub. But the highlight of this game was Arch Manning coming in. Again, I give him a B. 15 for 29. You got 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. The second interception wasn't his fault. Jaden Blue, catch the damn ball. You got to catch that, bro.
Yeah, the first one maybe a little bit of nerves,
Yeah, the first one, that was horrible. That was
nerves, right?
I mean, dude, he's so tough that he was able to shed off a tackle, get hit, and still get the ball off. Now, it was a dumb as hell pass. I wouldn't recommend any quarterback trying to do that. And he took a lot of hits tonight. But I said this past week, Wags, with Chip, when Arch gets hit, I don't feel the same way to when Quinn gets hit. Quinn, I got UTSD. Every time Quinn gets hit, I'm like, all right, get up, bro. Get up. Get up. Please get up. When Arch takes hits, I'm like, yo, he's got that Manning vibe. Those dudes durable, 225, 6'4". Arch took some shots today, and he just popped up, and he kind of does this with his arms and stuff and to signal that he's good. But I don't like him taking.
You don't hold your breath when he gets hit.
No, I don't have that same vibe.
Oh my God.
I don't have that same vibe. I don't. Maybe I should.
When both of them get hit, I hold my breath. I can't take it.
I really can't take it. I've seen Quinn get hit too many times and get up slow and all the injuries that he's had in this Texas uniform.
I want Trey Owens to start against Mississippi State, damn it.
Get out of here. I haven't seen Trey Owens throw a pass. They threw no passes with him.
Man. I'm fooling.
They threw
a tall drink of water from Side Fair Eat.
Yo, man, your tall drink of water.
That's Vince Scully. That ain't mine. It's Vince Scully's. I can't take it. It ain't mine.
He didn't throw once in that fourth quarter. It was all Colin Page and Ryan Niblin and those boys. But yeah, Arch, sometimes you just got to take the sack, dog. That's okay.
What impressed you the most tonight with Arch?
Just how easy he throws that deep ball, man.
Right,
it's so easy,
so deliverable, man. It's like on a platter.
It's so easy, and some of them, that wheel route to Jaden Blue, you got to complete that. That should have been a touchdown. Sometimes, the wide
receiver. That's what I was alluding to, like the facial expressions and the body expressions that Sarkisian was having when Arch would miss those kind of easy passes was very reminiscent of what Saban used to do when a Bryce Young would miss his pass, or when Tua would miss his pass, or Hurts would miss the pass. Like it's very reflective, man. So it's a good vibe. It is a really good vibe to have, especially when you know that the dude's a redshirt freshman, right? You know that his stint in this lineup is going to be very short, but you're holding him to that high of a pedestal to where his accountability is there, man. That's what I'm talking. That's championship caliber mentality, man, and that's what it takes to win.
For sure. These receivers are so good. Arch could overthrow or underthrow them, and they could adjust in the air. Like Matthew Golden, he's terrific. When that ball might be underthrown, he does a really good job of adjusting. Silas Bolden, same with him. We saw the deep shot, the first one to Isaiah Bond, and even though Silas Bolden's got called back, it's guys. These guys, I don't know what DeAndre Moore's status is. Hopefully, he's okay, but with how deep that wide receiver room is, him going down, they're not missing a beat. Now it's just Silas Bolden, who's gotten off to a slow start compared to the other 5 wide receivers that are getting serious bump. Now he got in the mix a little bit more. And that was good to see. He had that dive and catch early in the first half. He had that quick slant where I thought he was going to break it in the end zone. That didn't happen. But Silas Bolden, I'm glad that he got some serious run out here and Arch was able to find him. But overall, Arch Manning, the way that he throws the ball down the field, it's a thing of beauty. And it's interesting, what Fozzie and the guys in the booth are saying about Arch maybe throwing a better deep ball than Quinn.
Oh, he does. He does. Let's keep it real. Let's beat 100. He does.
I think these receivers
he throws a more accurate deep ball.
I think these receivers are better at catching the deep ball than we've had in years past. Like Xavier Werde, yes, he's a first-round pick, Kansas City Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills mucked that up completely, but he wasn't the best at finding the deep ball down the field. I don't know if that was because of his stature or just because that's just not his thing. He was good yards after catch. And then the Alabama game, they went crazy last year. But overall, I don't think Quinn with this group has been able to showcase that so far. And Arch has. Like the Arch against ULM, they were taking it no matter what the defense was throwing at you and trusted those wide receivers. And just because the talent is at an extreme high, especially compared to ULM, they were able to hit those. So I don't think that's going to keep happening in the SEC. You'll like to see that, but teams are going to keep playing those 2 safeties high and going to force you to make those intermediate throws that Arch struggles at now, that Quinn, I think, definitely thrives at. So that's the difference between Arch and Quinn right now. Arch is able to win you a couple of games. If Quinn needs another week, especially with Blake Shapen at Mississippi State being out for the season, and now Jeff Lebby has to go to his backup quarterback. If Quinn needs to sit another week, cool, fine. I'm good with that.
They struggled with Florida today, man. Like Mississippi State, I mean,
they're awful.
It's bad. Awful. We have a really genuine. We have a very genuine. God, I can't even speak. We have a very generous schedule. Okay? Thank you very much. I swear to God, I haven't even been drinking yet, but we've had a very generous schedule so far. Here's the thing, man. Regardless of what quarterback is out there, as long as you stick with this system that Sarkisian is, you're going to have success. I mean, look at it's one, speed kills, right? And you're starting to see it everywhere. And dude, like, we are the alphas out there. We're clearly alphas. Like, I sit here and talk about a week in and week out how I don't think that this Longhorn team, or I can't see that this Longhorn team is huge. And I think it's just because I see them every day, or we see them every day, right? We don't see them compared to like a Georgia, where we know Georgia is arguably, the biggest damn squad that's out there in the college football landscape, right? We don't see them compared to a day in, day out Georgia team like that. We've seen the growth, but we've been seeing it so much on a day in, day out basis that we haven't really been at that shock value to be like, oh, or at least for me, like that's my take on it. That's my observation, that I don't get to see them, or I don't see them as like the huge colossal pieces that everyone else totes them out as. I haven't seen it until tonight. They looked absolutely dominant and physical, no matter which way
Michigan didn't do that for you. I mean, to cut you off. Michigan didn't do that for you.
No, I thought Michigan was still smaller. Like, I mean, we looked big, but we didn't look like that. Michigan didn't look like they were the team that they were last year. I mean, they were clearly, like, with the supplement of, the pieces that they had to put on offense and defense there and the turnover there. I still didn't think that they were the big team that they were last year. I thought last year's team was gigantic, and this year's team was kind of a little bit smaller, man. I think the Longhorns have, it didn't really put me on it on the Michigan game until tonight. Like, tonight, they were absolutely dominant all over the damn field. Now, I know that that UL Monroe was a smaller ball team, and Monroe's probably the worst team we've played so far, in my opinion, out of the entire damn lot. But still, man, they just look like absolute hog mollies out there, and they absolutely look like they belong. I mean, the SEC's coming up, and we'll see how well they can push around the Bulldogs here. It looks like it's going to be a fun event, though.
Yeah, that Michigan win looks a lot better with Southern Cal going down at the Big House today because everybody was really high on Lincoln Riley's ball club. And shout out Sharon Moore getting that dub. Alex Orgy, I think he had 20-something
A
yards.
much-needed dub. They
Yeah,
needed it.
much needed. But if you can win just with only 20-something yards through the air, then you're pretty good. You're pretty damn tough. And Texas beat the brakes off the Wolverines 2 weeks ago. And yeah, this defense, Pete Kwiatkowski, got to give him the love. You know, Blake Gideon, Terry Joseph, Johnny Nansen, you know, Kenny Baker, all of those guys have been terrific. And we can nitpick and, you know, say that drive to end the half where they were kind of gutting the Longhorns on the run. And, you know, Mookie Tav almost had that targeting call, even though Mookie Tav was flying in there like John Lynch, boy. I'm surprised old tight end got up because that was a serious hit. And they bend, but they don't break, Wags. Like, once they get in the red zone, that something happens and they just—
Dude, it's their tackling. They don't miss open field tackles like they used to in the past. I remember Babers always making it such a huge deal on how many missed tackles that the Longhorns had each game. I don't even have to go back and look at missed tackles because it's not popping out of my mind like it usually does. Like when you used to see it the past three. It even started to happen. It was still there around Sarkisian's first 2 years, right? But over the past 2 years, or the past year and a half, rather, it hasn't really happened. Around the latter part of Sarkisian's second year is when the tackling got tremendously better, and it's clearly carried over to this season with the transfers that we've gotten in the portal as well. So
yeah, it's so much better. You know, the only drive that I guess you could be concerned at was the fifth drive for ULM where they went 13 plays, 6 minutes, 29 seconds, but only got 3 on the board. And it ended with Leonga Lafau, who was terrific tonight, getting the safety and getting that big-time sack on that drive. But, yeah, Wags, they just don't break. And Ant Hill, he set the tone early with that pick. Yo, Trey Morris, man, Trey Moore, come on. Trey Moore, you owe Ant Hill a steak dinner this week. The whole week, bro, you're paying for Ant Hill's meals. The whole week. Because that block in the back was unnecessary, bro. That should have been a pick six.
That was a pick six.
That's a pick six. Trey Moore, you being there. All you got to do is get in the way. You don't need to shove. Just move. Just get in the way. Get in the way something.
Not to put the cart before the horse, but that was my defensive player of the game.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely get to that, man. But damn. Like Trey Moore, because I'm – Chip Brown, he's been hard on my guy Trey Moore. And I've been like, yo, let him ease into this big-time SEC Power 4 level. It's a difference between UTSA and Texas. A huge difference. But Trey Moore, getting that dollar bill, y'all. You know, life's good, Trey Moore. Yeah. Life's good. You got broke off a little something. So we're expecting a little something that you got broke off to show up on the field. And that hasn't happened yet. He's had some moments, but overall, especially compared to Colin Simmons, Ethan Burke, Barrett Sorrell, those 3 guys batting balls, Colin Simmons getting sacks, gets Michigan, doing some big-time things. Trey Moore is looking like the 4th guy right now, and Colton Vossick's over here like, yo, I deserve some more bump too. Justice Finkley's like, yo, what about me? Like, there's a lot of guys.
It's rich, man.
It's rich. It's rich, man. Pete Kwiatkowski, those guys, they're having fun right now everywhere. And a group that we were concerned about coming in, Wags, was that linebacker room. Besides Ant Hill, which we were concerned about him because the responsibility taking over that Mike linebacker spot for Jalen Ford. As good as Jalen Ford was, especially those last 2 years, 2022, 2023, would Ant Hill be able to come in and produce like that? We knew the talent was there, but would he be able to do that? David Benda in his 6th year, how good is he going to be? After that, question marks. Leonga Lafau has shut that up. Lafau has shut that all up.
The linebacking core right, has been tremendous. But can I give a little bit of credit to the defensive line too, because they really don't show up that much in the stats. This defensive line demands so much from the opposition's offensive line that it allows all these fucking linebackers to scrape so cleanly and free, man. That's why you're seeing all these linebackers fly. They're fantastic. And I mean, of course, Hill's interception tonight was just tremendous, just a tremendous read. His ability to get back into his hook to curl zone with what, maybe not even a 3-step drop. He got back there so damn quick, and that's after he took 2 steps forward after the ball was snapped to read the run. After he read that it was not going to be the run, he got back into his damn drop with it. Not even it couldn't have been 3. It couldn't have been 3 strides. He got back there within 2.5 and covered that much damn ground. He was fantastic, man. To me, that's why it was the play of the game, just because of how far he went and how much ground he was able to cover, and then his perfect read, right? You do that because of how much the defensive line demands of the offensive lines, the opposition's offensive line too, right? And also, when the defensive line isn't getting to the damn quarterback, what are they doing? They're getting their hands up. They're batting balls down. It's fundamental football. It's stuff that we should have been expecting from Texas that hadn't been showing up on the film, and now it's there, man. It's showing up week in and week out, and it's what makes championship caliber teams, eh?
Yeah, Louisiana Monroe, they had 111 yards total, 54 passing, 57 rushing. Like, that's just, if you're Brian Vincent, the head coach, what do you do? What do you come up with? Like, I don't know what you do. Like, and it wasn't like Sart and Pete K aren't rotating guys. Jordan Johnson Rebel had a lot of tick tonight.
They were platooning them.
Like, I'm seeing guys at the end of the bench get clock and come in and produce and play well. Ty Anthony Smith, he's out there getting bumped. Like Kobe Black, Wardell Mack, guys like that. Derek Williams didn't play tonight, dealing with a hamstring issue. Hopefully he gets well, because that guy, we know what he could do, going back to that pick against Michigan. But this defense is stingy, and they take a lot of pride. They take a lot of pride in being really good, and again, the talent that they've played right now thus far, they haven't played one good quarterback yet. They haven't played one good quarterback yet. They just got to keep it real. Going back to Davis Warren, Braden Fowler, Nicolosi, guys like that, they haven't played. He might be the best one.
Maybe. Correct. Yeah, a Mountain West quarterback might be the best quarterback.
Yeah. So they haven't played a good quarterback yet. They're playing against the backup next week, who's a 4-star player coming in. I think he's a freshman. So, yeah, good luck to that dude. But this defense, they've been real stingy lately, and that's something that we didn't see consistently last year, especially on first and second down. As good as Byron Murphy and Travondre Sweat were, that back end, the secondary, they were very vulnerable. And moving Jahdae Barron to the outside, bringing Jalen Gilbo in, the confidence that you have with him at that star spot, they're just able to do so many different things. And you see on third down when they put
2 for 12, 2 for 12, bro. Like,
come on, 2 for 12. Like, it's just like the offense doesn't get much time to rest, because his defense is always getting off the field, whether it's a punt or making things happen, forcing turnovers. So love the way this defense is playing. Shout out to all the defensive coaches. Kenny Baker, give him his love. The interior line, they've been solid. They've been doing a really good job rotating.
Unsung heroes.
Yeah, Jermaine Lole, Bill Norton, Vernon Broughton, Alfred Collins, all of those guys as a group have been solid these first 4 games, and they look like a team that deserves to be number 1 in the nation. So, all right, Wags, let's get to it. The Verde's Mexican Parrilla offensive MVP. If you had to look at the 51 points put up today, anyone on offense that deserves the Verde's Mexican Parrilla offensive MVP. Oh, and also go to Verde's Mexican Parrilla off Hamilton Road, 71. Traditional Mexican food. Got your Tex-Mex favorites. Need some chips and queso, they got it. Some enchiladas, tacos, whatever you want. Beautiful dining indoor area, beautiful outside patio that is covered that you can have fun with the whole family. Great place to dine in. They also do carry out. If you want to take it back to the crib, that is fine too. They can host a party as well. Next time you are there, mention Texas Sports Unfiltered and get yourself a free appetizer. Get yourself some guacamole, some queso, some chips, some quesadillas. You know what I'm saying? Get you that. They got it all at Verde's Mexican Parrilla. Offensive MVP. Who do you got, Wags?
I got to go with Jaden Blue. I think this is the first time that we've had a Longhorn this season go over the century mark. And I mean, for him to have 25 totes, establishing himself as a bell cow, it's great to have a running back by committee to know what your spellbacks can do, but to know that you can have a guy that you can lean on, that, 3 downs, out of the series, all 3 damn downs. He doesn't have to come off the field. He gets good continuity with the quarterback. And again, you saw minor misses tonight with the checkdowns and then some of the wheel routes that he was able to run on with the bootlegs, that Arch was rolling out there. I think getting him involved into the passing game just opens up the entire field for Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns. Hell, even when Quinn Ewers comes back, it's going to open up everything for Quinn Ewers too. But yeah, 3 tutties tonight. He was fantastic. It's Blue Moon of Kentucky. Keep on shining, brother.
Yeah, I'm with you. Jaden Blue is my Verde's Mexican Parrilla offensive MVP too. When you come back from an injury, especially at the running back spot, and to get the touches that he did tonight, 25 carries, he was in the passing game. He was rusty. He had 2 drops. He had that drop on the Arch Manning interception, and he also had that swing pass drop, which was also Arch Manning's fault. The pick wasn't Arch Manning's fault. Jaden Blue catch the ball, but the swing pass that was early was behind them. You got to get that thing in front so they could catch it and stride.
And then he missed one that was over his head, later on in the game too. Like once they start connecting and get on the same, just the same speed, man, it's gonna be lights out, dude.
Yeah, but I love Jaden Blue. He's a home run threat waiting to happen. We all know that, but this was a grimy game. Only 125 yards. Your longest run was 20. You got 25 carries. He showed us that he could take a big load of carries. And some of those guys, like a Jared Gibson or a Contravian Wisner, even though they've been a little banged up and Jared Gibson is still figuring out this college game, even though he looks good, oh, baby Rhino, Jared Gibson, he's still the man with CJ Baxter being out. So getting him involved and showing the whole team that you could rely on him if need be, because at this point, if you're a defensive coordinator preparing for the Longhorns, you're terrified for the passing game, and you'll figure out the run game next. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure out the run game next. So shout out Noe, man.
Noe, what's good, Noe?
He always holds it down for us. Another $49.99. We appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. Noe, you are the best dog. But yeah, Jaden Blue, man, he just has so much talent. Go back to that Michigan game where he put that secondary player for the Wolverines on skates, and he wasn't even 100% at the time. And I don't think he was 100% tonight. I really don't. No. I think he was good enough to play, and they're just so limited in the running back room at this moment that Jaden Blue, you have to throw him out there, and they know Mississippi State should be a cakewalk next week. You get that much-needed bye for everybody to get healthy, and then what everybody's considering the real season starts with Oklahoma and Georgia on the back-to-back. So, again, 51-3. When you're not even playing your best football, that's what being a number 1 team in the nation is all about. And this Longhorn squad, Jaden Blue being that guy tonight, they look good and they're continuing to roll.
I'm with you, brother. 100.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the defensive MVP brought to you by Kenfield Golf Carts. Kenfield golf carts, man, holding it down. Get a new or pre-owned golf cart. And good news, our friends at Kenfield golf carts will get you right and are right around the corner. Founded back in 1979. That's a long time. To be around that long, you have to have high quality products, and their golf carts are high quality. Different selection of golf carts available. And yeah, get them new, get them old, doesn't matter. No job is too big, no job is too small. They will figure out what you want and what you need. Kenfield golf carts, the defensive MVP of the game. Wags, who do you got?
I think I alluded to it a little bit earlier. I know that all the linebackers tonight were fantastic and solid, but Anthony Hill sticks out of my mind because of the pick. We kind of talked about it last week, right? Like the pick six is arguably my favorite play in all of football. And whenever you can get a takeaway and give it to your offense, especially when it's coming from a linebacker, because linebackers get deemed that they don't have any hands, Mr. Hill showed them wrong tonight, good sir. Yeah, he only had 3 tackles tonight, but still he was able to get that takeaway. And for me, that's going to solidify himself as the defensive player of the game.
Yeah, he had a sack too. One of the first plays, or one of the first drives on that 3 and out. He had a big time sack where, Ant Hill, he's known for body slamming the mother sucker. He picked that dude up and gave him a little Kurt Angle action right there. He's just such a violent player. I'm with you.
Murder's intent, man. That's how you got to play.
I'm gonna have a co-defensive MVP. It's Ant Hill because he almost had a pick six, should have done it again. Trey Moore, you're paying for his meals this week. Sorry, bud. All that paper that you got.
But they're on a meal plan, though, aren't they? Correct me if I'm
wrong.
I
don't give a damn. No. I'm off that meal plan this week, Wags. No, absolutely not. If Ant Hill needs it DoorDash or Uber Eats or Favor to his crib or dorm, have that happen. But you're paying for those meals this week, Trey Moore, because pick sixes don't come around very often. You muck that the hell up. He didn't need you to push the dude on the ground. Especially with the way Trey Moore.
I know there's a Canes right off of campus.
It's right there. It's right there. There's a lot of things right off of the campus, but if I'm Ant Hill, I'm making them go off campus to get me my meal. That's how serious I take it. But Trey Moore, he wrong for that. But anyway, Leonga Lafau. That's my other co-defensive MVP, brought to you by Kenfield Golf Carts. Leonga Lafau was terrific tonight. The safety, that was him. The big-time sack on the 3rd down where ULM was driving and had the 13-play drive. This dude, and me and Chip, we joke about it all the time because we know Johnny Nansen, Polynesian Whisperer. We know Leonga Lafau, Polynesian brother. They got something. They got something. I'm not playing.
Dude, I lived over there. You ain't got to tell me. I lived there for 6 years, man.
There we go.
I was on the island, man. I know. It's magical, bro. It is magical. They have something. You're right.
So shoots, man. He's been playing.
That's what they say too. Did you just say shoots?
Yeah.
That is the saying over. It's not like it's not cool, man. See you later. It's shoots, cuz shoots. That's so weird and wild that you said that shit.
Man, shoots, damn it.
Shoot.
Leonga Lafau's playing his ass off right now, and it just makes that linebacker room that much deeper. Mo Blackwell, he's been quietly solid. Anthony Smith, even though he doesn't play, in the biggest moments, usually when the Horns are already, done with the dub when he gets in and gets his clock. But Anthony Smith has a lot of upside too. Like I'm really impressed with this linebacker room, which we thought that was going to be a weak spot for this Longhorn team. And now we got 2 guys that we're considering or that we have as defensive MVPs due to their play tonight against ULM.
But do you see what else we're doing here? We're going around and we're naming these very solid players, right? And we're almost trying to find them excuses for not being stalwarts on a championship team or a championship caliber defense. That's where you go to. That's just the tail of the tape, man. That's testament to how damn good and how deep this entire room is. Not just the room, the entire unit of the defense. It's there. The vulnerabilities that we had from last year, they've been addressed, or they appear to be addressed. Now, again, consider the opposition. And like you said just a few moments ago, the real season starts in a couple of weeks. Okay. But let's not do backhanded slaps to the opposition that we've had. But yeah, when you play the sweet ones, you're supposed to win by 50. You are. But that is the mark of a championship team.
Yeah. Yeah. And hit us up on the Clean Calls text line here on YouTube. You know, shout out to Clean Calls, better for you beverage on a mission to support addiction recovery. Enjoy a healthy energy boost, 160 mgs of organic Verba Mate tea that doesn't cause you to have jitters like coffee. You feel better. You know, you feel better throughout the day. It is so good. I wear my Clean Call shirt all the time. I drink my Clean Causes all the time too, and they have donated over 3 million because they're just getting started. And look, Clean Cause, way to go. Get your Clean Causes stores near you. Clean Cause, absolutely terrific. Hit us up on the Clean Cause YouTube line. But yeah, Wags, again, this defense playing their ass off. They're having fun too. They're having a lot of fun playing for Pete Kwiatkowski, who I wouldn't say he was on the hot seat, but if Pete Kwiatkowski, which is still a long season, were to have a bad year, I don't know if Sark would be able to bring him back in the 2025 season. Now, maybe those changes would have went to Blake Guinea and Terry Joseph, and those guys were in the same situation too. Like, we got to see what you guys could do because last year wasn't good enough. Hey, they look like they don't have to sell their houses anytime soon.
Right,
Life is good. These guys are balling. These guys are playing. And, that's what you need if you want to keep on rolling, especially when you go into the SEC. All right, Wags, let's go to the tip of the cap award, which goes to the opposing player who impressed us the most, which is brought to you by Top Gun Rentals and Lawn Equipment. Our friends at Top Gun will help you tackle any job. The extensive selection of the rental equipment, from small home projects to bigger construction jobs. They got you on the biggest brands like Hustler, Toro, Walker, and more. Shout out to our guy, Brandon Mars, and his team. They will hook you up with whatever you need. Austin's #1 source in equipment rentals and sales and supplies. It's been around since 1996. You can catch it in 2 local areas, Anderson Square up north and Buda down south. Go to topgun.net. Top Gun will shoot you straight. Slim Pickens here. Slim Pickens.
But there's one that sticks out.
There is one that sticks out. That's my boy, Big 88. Big 88, Juan Nixon running over Andrew Makuba. That was vicious.
Okay, I was going to go defensive side of the house for them. I was going to say Wyatt Williams. I mean, the dude had 10 tackles. He had 10 tackles and a pick.
Okay, that's fair. That's probably fair. It's hard for me to
let's be real. We got to see a lot of their defense. I mean,
it's hard for me to give anyone love when you get 51 put up on that ass.
I'm with you, but if you're going down the box score, if you're going down the stat line, there's one dude There's one dude's like, all right, well, at least he played football tonight. You know what I mean? Like, at least he showed up.
You're right. That dude deserves it, but Andrew Makuba, as tough as he is, him getting ran over by that big ass tight end, Julian Nixon, that was brutal. That was brutal. That made me jump out my seat for a little bit because I'm chilling. I'm like, man, this is a blowout. This is work at this point. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, oh shit.
Dude's one reception was on me. Dude's one reception was on me. Come on.
Oh man, but it was Slim Pickens. But Wyatt Williams, he did his thing. He did his thing. He did his thing tonight. All right, cool. That was our tip of the cap. Brought to you by Top Gun Law and Equipment. Let's go to the offensive play of the game. Brought to you by Hat Creek Burger. Hat Creek Burger, man, started as a food truck up in 2008, and now they got 26 locations. Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Temple, and Waco. Despite their rapid growth, the mission remains the same. Hat Creek will always be a place for good food, good folks, and good fun. It is that simple. Their shakes are on point. The burgers are on point. You know me, when I go, I always got to get the big hat. Little hat's good too, but I'm a big boy. I need the big hat. I need the hat sauce. They have like all types of different sauces. The chicken nuggets are on point. The shakes are crazy. They put gummy worms in your shake and stuff. It's just Hat Creek, above and beyond, elite burger and elite restaurant. Go to any of the Hat Creek locations in Waco, Temple, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, and Dallas.
Would you call yourself a saucier?
Say what?
Would you call yourself a saucier?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm definitely a sauce person. Like I put sauce on everything. Like I'm one of those ones that I offend the chef when they like bring out something you're not supposed to put any sauce on it. I have to have something. I have to have something. Not to be offensive. It's just
it's just how you are. No,
yeah, just how I am. You know, I know there's a lot of barbecue joints that don't use sauce and stuff. It's kind of a problem for me.
I'm sorry, I have to put barbecue sauce on.
I have
barbecue,
to,
right? That's kind of that's why it's barbecue sauce.
Yeah, Hat Creek's barbecue sauce, bomb, definitely bomb. But yeah, offensive play of the game brought to you by Hat Creek. You got one for us, Adam Wagner.
I like Wingo's 25-yard tutty. I think that was a beautiful fade, or honestly, it was a wheel route that he just kind of ran there. Yeah. This dude's going to be so tremendous, in the connection that they have so early in their young careers between Arch and Wingo. Look, man, the future, I keep saying it, the future's absolutely bright, but I don't want to take away from, some of the deep balls that he was able to find Boyd on too. Like, they were absolutely impressive, but they didn't find pay dirt on that. I loved, as much as, I love the rollout and him being able to find Blue in the passing game, just a little bit of a bootleg, and just how Blue was able to escape after the first wave and get behind the linebackers and score there. I love that play, but to me, I think the one that really stood out was the beautiful pass, a touch pass that Manning had, because we know that he can fire the damn deep ball, but the intermediate touch pass that he had, where he read the defense perfectly, he found the the open bubble that was in that cover two there, and he was able to deliver it on point. Man, fantastic.
Yeah, Ryan Wingo. It seems like he's just always making good things happen. In these 4 games, each game, he's done something pretty special, catching touchdowns, the reverse he had against Michigan. Like, the dude is fearless, and he's going to be a star. He's already shown flashes, and it's hard to get him off the field. I mean, we know Sark likes having his 2 tight end sets, and we know right now, especially when you look at the snaps, Matthew Golden and Isaiah Bond are kind of separating themselves from the rest of the group. But Ryan Wingo, he's valuable, man. He has soft hands. He's not afraid of contact, and he looks different than every other wide receiver that you have in the room. So that gives him an advantage when you want to
smooth, right? That's what I just smooth, silky smooth. Yeah, it just glides. I don't know how else to explain it or describe it.
Yeah. So shout out to his touchdown. For me, Wags, for the offensive play of the game, brought to you by Hat Creek, I'm going to go with that diving catch out of bounds that Silas Bolden had early.
Oh, yeah.
That was incredible. That guy, and he's had a rough.
He's a little dude too. Like, you don't expect that type
he's a
of
small
range,
guy.
right?
I wish that one. I still think that it was hard to overturn that diamond one on the deep ball. Like, it did hit the ground, but it didn't move.
He secured that shit. I'm not trying to placate to the 40 to the burnt orange here, but he secured that stuff.
He secured it.
He got it. He got it.
I don't know.
When
man.
you break
Whatever.
the damn play down by that slow, you're going to see any damn ball hit the ground if it's that close, right? Like, come on.
Yeah. So seeing Silas Bolden Definitely going to hear news on DeAndre Moore. Hopefully it's not serious and he could be back next week. But if he wasn't available, you feel comfortable with Silas Bolden getting in the mix more. You just do. The guy, I don't know if it's because the blocking, like he's so small and you gotta block in this offense. And remember, he didn't get here in January like the rest of the guys. He wasn't an early enrollee guy. He got here in the summer. So with that complex offense that Sark's has, who knows how much he knows. And he's not messing stuff up out there to where Sark can't trust him. I think as the season goes on, the trust is going to get better and better. And obviously he's doing this thing on the punt returns. And he was a little bit better tonight. I've been pretty, critical on him in his punt returns and just being smart about it and fair catching. You don't have to make a play every single punt. But again, DeAndre Moore being out, Silas Bolden might have more opportunities. I love his moxie. I love his passion. He's always getting hype. He always has really good energy. It's just about opportunity with him. And a lot of guys on this roster love the dive and catch. I think Silas Bolden can keep on doing positive things for this Horns team.
I'm with you. I'm drinking Bolden's cup of tea too. I also love Cook. I love what Jonte Cook brings to it with his speed. Look, we're very rich. And the gentleman that you just mentioned not too long ago, Gunnar Helm, like how Sarkisian likes to go with his tight end sets. He only had one reception tonight, right? But he did so much in the blocking because it's what you talked about. When you got to come down, like your wide receivers or Sarkisian's wide receivers have to be able to do layered blocking. You got to be able to block on the first wave and you got to be able to go down and block on the second wave too. And that's usually the hardest blocks to do. That's where you get called for holding the most is when you're downfield trying to block because your arms get extended sometimes. And it's really hard to, you ultimately got to break down like you do to make the tackle and then get your arms in and then go into the block and then try and I guess impose your will and move them around. And that's what Gunnar Helm did tonight. Downfield blocking, was able to spring Jaden Blue loose for a few times and Bolden a few times too, man. You want to talk about a dude that can do it all, a great Swiss Army knife there. We were wondering how we were going to replace Jadavian Sanders. We kind of knew what we were going to get with Gunnar Helm too. He just adds a really good collective piece to this entire package of a very talented and fast wide receiver room. To answer your question, yeah, I'm drinking that cup of tea with Bolden there, but look at all the speed that's also in this wide receiver room. I think it's plug and play, baby.
Gunnar Helm looks like an NFL tight end.
It does.
I don't know how you prepare for this Texas team week in and week out because he barely did anything. As you just said, Wax, he barely did anything tonight blocking. He was terrific on that Ryan Wingo swing pass. Or not Ryan Wingo, I think Ryan Niblett.
You're right. You're correct. Niblett. It was Niblett.
Yeah, Ryan Niblett.
It was Niblett or Blue, I believe, too.
One of them.
He had one. I know he had one for Blue. So
yeah. But his Michigan game, he dominated 90-something yards, 7 touches, a touchdown. Then he didn't get nothing today. So again, if you're a defensive coordinator, you're looking at that. You're looking at all the games. You're like, it could be someone different every game. Who do we prepare for? What are we doing? It could be someone different every game. And if you're Sark, you're rubbing your hands together with that evil ass laugh, like, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for these last 4 years. And I've been giving a lot of love to coaches tonight. Chris Jackson, he deserves love too, because everybody gives Steve Sarkisian all the credit for the offense. AJ Milby's done a terrific job with these quarterbacks too behind the scenes. And Chris Jackson, the wide receiver coach, he's done a terrific job too, coming from the Jaguars a couple of years ago. And when you see guys like Khalid Lockett and Jamie French commit in the 2025 class because they see what's going on in the locker room now, and you see Adonai Mitchell getting reps for the Indianapolis Colts and Jordan Whittington for the Los Angeles Rams, and Xavier Worthy for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's fun to play wide receiver at Texas.
Right.
And
again, that really wasn't the vibe for a while.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Like, they don't. Texas doesn't produce. Or hell, I even remember that as a quote from one dude that left here that's not from, or that went to Lake Travis that's now in the league, right? And he even said like, hey, Texas don't produce pro
Say his
talent.
name, Garrett Wilson.
Damn it. I didn't want to blow him up like that, but hey, go ahead.
Blow his ass up. Garrett Wilson said that. Made life rough. Garrett Wilson said, I'm from here and I don't even want to be here.
Nope. But hey,
I'm from here. Well, he's from Ohio too, but
right. But I mean, he
still,
did some
like,
time here. He shared some time here. He drank the water.
Yeah. Garrett, things have changed, Garrett.
Yeah.
Things have changed down here. So, yeah, man, let's keep rolling on the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. I am Zay Collier, joined by Adam Wagner. The defensive play of the game brought to you by Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill. Moonshine, baby. So good. The chicken and waffles. Oh, my gosh, the brunch, man. Moonshine, that is my spot. I'm living in Northwest Austin. I go to that Moonshine every now and again, right there, off Palmer, up Northwest. Just a terrific place. Patio Bar and Grill, place that just takes you back to a simpler time, comfortable and familiar, relaxed, easygoing. Moonshine greets guests like their family. You want to come in and you want to feel welcome. You want to feel comfortable, and it makes you not want to leave. And it's just terrific food, great comfort food with their take on American classics. The Moonshine menu satisfies even the big city taste. They got it all. So go to Moonshine Grill, get all your information downtown, Avery Ranch, locations here in the ATX. Terrific. The brunch, go hit it up tomorrow. It's amazing. Terrific dinner, terrific lunch. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill. Our defensive play of the game brought to you by Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill. Wags, what you got?
I think we both hit this, right? Like you alluded to this earlier. LaFau was tremendous tonight, dude. And then I talk about having the pick six is one of your, the most exciting plays, in the entire football game, right? Too bad it didn't happen. The pick six didn't happen, or else that would have been this play. But yeah, the safety has to be the play of the game because one, it puts points on the board for you, and it's a turnover, man, or it's a takeaway. You're turning possession over, you're giving it to your offense, and you're forcing a free kick, which is even better for get the special teams involved here. That's the one thing that we haven't done. We haven't scored on special teams, right?
Yeah, true.
That's the only damn thing we haven't done yet.
Yeah, I thought they got the safety before the safety happened, but the running back did a good job of getting his body out of the end zone. But yeah, Leoga LaFau, he was the one that led the charge on that safety, and we've been praising him all night long, as we should. The guy's been making plays in that linebacker room. They look a lot better than what we thought they could have looked like before the season started. You got to salute Johnny Nansen for the development and production there. But yeah, putting those 2 points on the board, it just shows how feisty and stingy this defense is as a whole. Like, there's not many weaknesses. Again, you go back to that last drive of the first half for ULM where it was the 13 plays, 6 minutes, and they only put 3 on the board. The only 3 that they had in the whole game, no touchdowns, was on that drive.
You know what was more impressive though? They came out immediately in the second half and shut that shit down. Like there was nothing. Like no, there's no remnants of what you had in the second half. What you thought we had a little bit of a lull, we had a mental lapse. That it's done. Here come the alphas are back, my guy.
Yeah, 54 yards passing, 57 yards on the ground for ULM to make a total of 111. Like, they gave him no chance.
Year, right? 22 points yielded on the year.
Yeah, 22 points overall. Donut in that first game. You go to the second game, Michigan puts up 12. Fast forward to UTSA, they put up 7. Then here's 3.
Here's 3.
It's just they're playing ruthless right now. And again, when you're able to rotate guys, Wags, you're fresh. You're not winded. There are so many moments where Jahdae Barron and Jalen Ford played freaking the whole game, it seemed like, last year. Mm-hmm. And who knows what that's going to look like when the Oklahomas and Georgias come around. Sure. Who knows what those reps and how that's going to look overall. But now guys are able to fly around and stay fresh because they know they could give it 100% because somebody's going to come in for them on the next drive or even the next play.
I hate to say this because it's lazy football. No plays off. There's absolutely nobody taking a play off anymore. And rest assured, I hate to admit it, I hate to say it, but you can't lie to the eye in the sky, man. People were taking plays off.
Yeah. Yep.
Culture change.
Those things have
Culture change.
changed. Seems like those things have changed. All right, Wags, time to wrap this up. Been a terrific post-game show here at Texas Sports Unfiltered. Appreciate everybody rocking with us so late tonight. Horns are 4-0, number one team in the nation, getting the dub against ULM 51-3. The final word brought to you by Paul's Motor Works. Shout out to Paul's Motor Works. They have been providing just high quality success rate of serving the people since 2000. Domestic automotive repair here in Austin, specialized in BMW, Mini Cooper, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Volkswagen, and Porsche. But they do so much more than that. BK gets his oil changes done from there. And look, I know you don't trust your car with anyone, but they got great people over at Paul's Motor Works. They're not trying to screw you over. They're not trying to make you uncomfortable. They're not trying to, take advantage of your 16-year-old daughter that doesn't understand cars or anything like that. They're not those type of people like some of the shysters out here in the streets. So, hey, when you're done with your car, go see Paul over at Paul's Motor Works. Final word, Wags.
You're almost through it. Battle of attrition, you can say you've kind of won, although you've lost your starting quarterback, but thankfully it was a minor injury, and he should be able to come back next week. No rush for him to come back next week. And you've also won the battle of attrition with your running back room. They've kind of gotten a little bit healthier, or at least your first team running back that has been, I guess, deemed your first team running back with Jaden Blue. He's now a little bit more healthier. Although you and I both don't think that he's a full bill of health just yet, we still think that he's nursing a little bit more of that injury, and I think it should be okay within the next few weeks. Overall, though, you've done what needed to be done with this first quarter of your campaign, to where you just get through the cupcakes and you try to come out of here without any injuries, without any crazy injuries that's going to set your team back. Thankfully, where it's a very rich and team in regards of talent, right? So if the quarterback goes down, you have a potential highs. I mean, I don't want to be too hyperbolic here, but you got a potential Heisman Trophy quarterback that could come in and spell another Heisman Trophy quarterback. That's if Arch comes in and throws 5 touchdowns and or accounts for 5 touchdowns in a spell of your Heisman Trophy campaign. I mean, you'd like to think that he could also be represented, in New York towards the latter portion of the season. You've almost gotten through this portion of the cupcake schedule, and you haven't taken on that many injuries. You're getting primed and ready for SEC play, and you look good. Here's the thing, though. You got some things to fix. 8 penalties tonight. Don't like that too much. 2 turnovers, but you're taking the ball away, too. I still think you have the battle won between the turnover battle and the turnover ratio. You got more takeaways than you do turnovers this season so far. You got to keep it clean like that. You got to be able to take care of the ball. I get Arch wanting to, go out there and make a play in your first couple of things, but again, you're going to be hyped up. It's your first start of the season. And Sarkisian kind of alluded to it too, like to go in and spell of the starting quarterback is a lot different than what preparations, amounting up to the game. Nerves tend to get to you a little bit more when you actually have a week to prepare for it, which is kind of odd, right? When you're thrown into the mix, you're just reacting, baby. And if you're prepared, you'll be able to react in any tone of manner. But ultimately, Zay, we've gotten through this first portion of the campaign unscathed, and we seem to be primed for that championship run. We look good.
Yeah, basically a month of football, 4 wins. That's all you could ask for. This team, they play with a sense of urgency that we haven't seen in a long time. And a lot of people were worried about all the players that you lost to the NFL. You lose 11 guys. That's tough to come back from. I mean, look at Michigan. They lost a lot of the players, including their coach, even though they got a big win today, which makes Texas look a lot better, especially down the road against SC. They're still dealing with their struggles and trying to find their new identity. So Sark doesn't have to deal with any of those things. They know what their identity is. They know what the culture is.
Right.
Everybody's ball.
They're standard.
Standard. Yeah. This team, Sark's talked about, they love each other, man. Like seeing Quinn in the huddle, getting everybody hyped, seeing those guys celebrate Ryan Niblett's touchdown, seeing them last week celebrate Ethan Burke. It's just they're so happy when their peers have success. And they seem like they're just trying to one up each other.
They're playing, but they're not one upping each other. They're playing for one another.
Yeah, but then they're playing for one another. Like, oh, look at okay, Jade just got this pick. I'm Andrew Makuba. Like, I want one now. Manny Muhammad's probably like, I need a pick. Like all these guys are getting picks and stuff. Like Ant Hill's getting picks. I want a pick. Like that's that good competitive nature that you want in guys that you need for a healthy locker room.
Iron sharpens iron, baby.
Absolutely. So we're seeing that. We're seeing the depth. They're having fun. The coaching staff has been terrific in the process. They're handling their business. It doesn't matter if their schedule might be weaker than others. I thought their schedule would be a lot tougher than this, even looking forward. Say what you want about OU, A&M, Georgia struggle with Kentucky. That schedule.
And Kentucky seems like they might have something there.
Stop, man. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm just saying.
You saw what South Carolina did to them a couple of weeks ago? I don't know.
I did.
I really don't. You can't trust nobody in this damn league, man.
Right. No, that's true.
You can't trust nobody. So I wanna stay in the moment. Like, look, it's not their fault that these teams are weak. Beat the hell out of them then. If they weak, then show me that they weak. Beat the hell out of them and don't even make it a possibility that they feel like they could be in this game. They've done that through the first 4 weeks. Mississippi State should be the same thing with their backup quarterback coming into DKR. And then you head into the toughest part of your season after a much-needed bye week. Texas fans, they have nothing to bitch at right now. Absolutely nothing.
You and I agree that we don't even think that we've seen Texas's best game of football yet, right?
No. It's terrifying.
That's
terrifying. You turn the ball over twice today.
I don't even
giving up touchdowns.
I don't even think we've seen some of the packages unveiled yet.
Yeah. I'd still be vanilla. I still be vanilla. I still have some stuff I'm Steve.
I've seen a few twists tonight. I saw a few twists. I saw a few blitz packages against Michigan, right? But I didn't see too much of the hand.
No. And that was because they had a weak-ass quarterback. Again, you haven't played a solid quarterback yet. And a lot of that's due to –
That's the best point right there. We haven't – and that's really the telling tape of your opposition, right? That's a testament to your opposition. If you got a decent quarterback and your defense can do that against a decent quarterback, then we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, offensively, Zay, you're putting up 50 points each week. That's efficient football offensively. And you can argue that you haven't even seen the best production of the offense yet. It's been rusty.
Yeah. So Quinn will get more and more healthy. We'll see how he looks this upcoming week. But appreciate everybody for rocking with us tonight on the Texas Sports Unfiltered postgame show. Hey, remember, every day during the week, starting at 8, we are live until 4 o'clock. Jam-packed shows. Bucky and BK, Wags and Double R, Jordan Scruggs, and my man Jeff Howe, E. Henry, Keenan Womack, Chip and Zay, and the SEC Unfiltered crew. We got you every day here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. Like and subscribe. We'll be rocking with you all season long and beyond. Appreciate everybody tonight. The Horns get the dub. 51-3 against Louisiana Monroe. Mississippi State next week for the first SEC game. We will have all of that post and pregame show brought to you next Saturday. But until then, till next week, y'all be cool.